second I want to say.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
We're back in the morning brew with friends. We're here with Zoya and Andrew. Good to see you, man.
Good to see you, Dan.
How was kickball on Thursday night? We played kickball together.
We do.
Yes.
We absolutely do.
Yes. I missed the game on Thursday. I hate to admit.
As did I.
Oh man! But you went and saw Fast and Furious.
I did Thursday night, the premiere.
So I can tell your kickball team, like you bounced on kickball, so you could go see the movie.
Oh, 7 was a huge event.
I'm glad that I'm not the only one who understands how giant this Fast and Furious 7 movie is.
Oh, it's
absolutely
absolutely packed.
It's great. Well, you're the new president of the Young Professionals Association.
Yes, sir.
And you're with MiABQ,
Yep.
which is a millennials group. And, I think millennials have become a thing that everywhere. People are just talking millennial this and millennial that. What is a millennial for those people that don't really know?
So a millennial is someone typically in the 25 to 40 year age range.
Okay. Very
that
cool.
That would be
standard?
accurate.
Yeah.
25 to 40?
Yeah.
What do you call people under 25? Millennials?
Babies.
Yeah.
Babies. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent. I love that. The crew actually. But millennials have a different outlook on so many things. You want to live in urban areas.
Right.
We want to. We're more connected than the other generation. We live differently than other generations have before. We're not looking for the 1.9 kids in the suburbs, essentially, right? But you guys are trying to reach out to everybody and have a big networking event soon. Am I right?
Yeah, that's correct.
And it's coming up. It's the biggest one ever.
Yeah, it's actually the first one ever.
So it would be the biggest.
Yeah, well, exactly. Setting a precedent here. So, yeah, MiABQ Millennial Project and Young Professionals of Albuquerque are hosting the first ever citywide Young Professionals Mixer April 17th at Hotel Andaluz.
That's just a couple of weeks away.
It is, yeah. We're in countdown mode right now.
I am in.
Okay.
I am in.
Cool.
I will be there. Is it like free cocktails or something, or how does
It
this
is,
work?
yes. We have discounted cocktails and free appetizers.
Excellent.
There is a complimentary valet parking and a raffle that benefits the Storehouse downtown.
Oh, great,
Yeah.
great. So, networking for young professionals too.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And this is part of what YPA is really all about. It's networking for young professionals. Those of us that are still kind of launching our careers and hoping to make big things happen later on. This is a chance for us to meet people and be in the Young Professionals Association, right?
Sure, Dan. And not only the Young Professionals of Albuquerque, but pretty much the millennial workforce here in Albuquerque. We've been striving each and every day just to become the best professionals we can to attract and retain the talent here in the Albuquerque area. And by hosting an event like this where everyone who comes feels welcome, wanted, and worthwhile, I think is good, not only for the millennial generation, but for the Albuquerque community as a whole as well.
Right. Well, do you think that as millennials we're kind of forgotten about by a lot of the established business world? I don't think that, I go to a lot of the Chamber of Commerce things. I go to a lot of the other, the regular business events, and I don't see a lot of people like, our age there. I mean, are we kind of forgotten about? Is there like a gap?
I think that was the impetus to make this event, and I know that was the impetus to make the MiABQ Millennial Project as well, to get more younger people involved in specifically the downtown revitalization conversation and to get people connected and into these communities where people are trying to enact change.
Right. Well, one of the things with millennials is we do like to live in neighborhoods, like downtown neighborhoods, urban neighborhoods. I live downtown.
Right.
You guys do, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what is MiABQ? I mean, just to step back a little bit and tell folks a little bit about what that actually is.
Yeah, so the MiABQ Millennial Project started last year in March, so we've actually only been around for 1 year. We started to, like I said, try and get the younger generation involved in this downtown revitalization conversation. There were so many meetings that I went to where there was no future generation in the room.
Right.
And so I think it was just a way to get this group involved and start making these decisions that are going to impact the people that will be living downtown. And
well, I think I was at maybe the impetus for those meetings. City council meeting probably 2 years ago. And Paul Silverman was there.
Right.
Paul is developing, of course, a downtown grocery store, which a lot of us are really excited about. And Paul gets up and he starts talking to city council and he says, we're we're handing off the city to this group of people, and there's not a single one in the room.
Right.
There wasn't a single person under the age of 50 on the city council, at the
Right.
time.
Yeah.
And he was like, come on, what are we doing?
Yeah.
And that started this movement. I know the mayor jumped on it, Gary Opedal jumped on that,
Right.
seized on that idea.
Yeah.
And were those first meetings I went to that were at the old art bar where they're
yeah.
like, if you're over the age of 37, they kicked everybody out.
Yeah.
And it was great, and it was basically like this, they sequestered everybody who was under the age of 37 as people who wanted to be involved.
Yeah.
And what came out of those meetings? What did you guys find out?
So, well, I'm happy to say that we're actually still meeting and we're still doing activities and events.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just those first few ones.
Right.
But we have been getting more involved with council. We've presented letters of support and spoken at council meetings on certain issues. So I think that's definitely a win for us. We have also we've done quarterly meetings with a larger group. To provide networking opportunities and to discuss issues that are relevant to us, things that are pertinent in the policy landscape at the time. And
what's different about that? I mean, we can say policy landscape and issues that are pertinent to us, but what different issues are we finding?
With what are we
what are
working
millennials
towards?
looking at?
Yeah.
I mean, versus like the people who may be our parents who are looking
Right.
at suburban lifestyle.
Yeah, well, one thing that I think is a good example of this is the Complete Streets Ordinance, for example, that Jeff Speck came to Albuquerque last summer, I want to say, and had some great recommendations for making downtown a more urban, denser space that was more pedestrian and bike friendly. And these are things that obviously millennials want to see.
Right.
So we wrote a letter of support to that. We got over 100 signatures on that, which I think is marvelous, and presented that at council. And so that ordinance passed, and I think that that's a great thing, and I'm hopeful that we helped, move that forward.
And this is stuff like adding, it's some of it's just simple stuff like adding bike lanes.
Yeah, it's super easy. Yeah,
Right.
I mean, it's not a heavy investment per se.
Right. And then on the business front, Andrew, I mean, how does this kind of work into what you guys are doing at MiABQ? I mean, what are the needs of millennial business owners? What are the needs of millennial entrepreneurs? And how is that different, you think, from the previous generation of entrepreneurs?
Well, it's probably the new, the gap in between technology and the consumer when it comes to the entrepreneurs that we have in the city. But it's just branding out to these new ideas, whether it's the new minor league soccer team, Albuquerque Soul, that's in town, or some of these new technology companies that are coming in. It's just about building a better workforce that relates to our community and our values. The young professional workforce out here in Albuquerque has a stronghold on community service and providing a better workforce out here.
Right. And there's a more idea of being connected, too, right?
Very much so.
Yeah, and there's ways, we connect over Facebook, we connect over Instagram, things like that other people aren't quite into, right?
Correct, yes.
Right. And, with your business, I mean, do you leverage that? Do you make that a priority to find the millennials? Because they will be the next generation of customers.
Well, yes. I'm in the insurance industry myself, and more specifically health insurance. And yes, we are the demographic that the president's administration actually wants to get.
Right. Because we're the ones that are staying more or less healthy.
Absolutely.
Like, we're the ones that have got to pay for everybody else.
Hey, we're the ones not going to the doctor.
Right.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yes. So it's imperative that you get everybody in the mix in order to bring the complete lower cost of healthcare down. So,
Right.
Across for everybody. So yeah, we're very important on that aspect.
Right. So how do you market to those to millennials? How do you find us? How do you
Well, it's basically the individual penalty now. So if you do not have health insurance this year, next year when you file your taxes, you're looking at losing either 2% of your return or paying 2% more in your
Federal
taxes that
taxes.
you owe to the government. So as that percentage increases, more people are going to be motivated to get something in place. And in the end, you're just protecting yourself financially from some great catastrophic event health-wise. So
Right. So the big event, April 17th, Andaluz, one of my favorite places.
Yeah.
Upstairs at the great spot.
Yeah.
Great. And then DJs, what are we going to have for music and entertainment? Or is it going to be Andrew being
We'll
the MC
see.
again?
Well,
He's gonna be crushing
my
it.
karaoke special. But no, we're actually looking.
What is your karaoke song? What's your go-to karaoke
Oh
song?
my
Dave?
gosh, OAR. Hey girl.
Oh.
Absolutely. That's a New Mexico State thing.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
No doubt. But tell us a little bit more, like event-wise, what we're going to see on the 17th.
Sure. So we're actually looking to a live band right now to accommodate the event. But much as the way to talk to, we have drink specials, we have free appetizers, we're going to have some different raffle prizes. we're going to have a special raffle that benefits the Storehouse Greater Albuquerque downtown.
Great.
And it's just going to be a great way for people to network and socialize with other young professionals in the Albuquerque area and the environment that's welcoming them.
I dig it. We're going to be back in a couple of seconds with Greg Frost, who actually this is awesome. He's going to be talking about millennials and how we all fit into the mortgage landscape and what kind of homes we're buying in a couple of seconds on the Morning Brew with Friends.